Welcome to Deep Thought. Sometimes empty your mind. And what do I mean by emptying your mind? You empty your mind because sometimes thoughts take us where we don't want them to take us because we're always thinking. We always have thoughts in our heads. But sometimes you just got to empty your mind, even if it's for a few seconds. And don't be thinking about anything. Just be in the moment. Now, I've talked about that before. Just try not to think. And trust me, it takes serious spiritual work to be able to hold just that posture for 10 minutes. I mean, somebody had to do some serious work to do that. They would have to practice, and it would probably be an elder who've done years of meditation and stuff. And meditation does help with that. Meditation just emptying your mind. Because, I've talked about paying attention to small things this week and seeing things as they are. The best way to do that is not have any thoughts when you're looking at it. See, we're constantly thinking. We're constantly thinking. And I'm saying this as a man who's constantly thinking. We're constantly thinking. And we're usually either thinking about the past, what has happened. We're thinking about the future, what could happen, or what we want to happen. Or we might consciously think about something. We in the moment and we consciously think about it. We see those ants and you're thinking, oh, look at those ants. Instead of just being there and just letting them go across. Now, see, the key is, since we're usually thinking either about the future or the past, we're not in the moment. We're not in the moment. Because when we're thinking about what we want to happen, where we want to go and all of that, we're not in the moment. I'm going to tell you what. It's a powerful thing just to empty your mind for a few seconds and just pay attention to stuff. You can see so much in that one moment. And it's a practice that I have. I'll do it while I'm driving because I already know where I'm going. I don't have to think about, okay, I'm going to turn here, I'm going to turn here. It's already a habit. But sometimes I will try to focus on the moment, and then I see so many things. I notice a building or something I hadn't seen before. I notice a house. I might notice a sign for something. And there's been times I've done that. It's like, damn, how long has that been there? And you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, that's been there all this time. Even to this day, I could drive along roads, paths, whatever that have always been there. Always. And I'm like, wait a minute, why am I just noticing this now? Be like years. I was driving someplace and I was in the moment and just happened to look over and I was like, wait a minute, I never know those houses were there. And you could look at them, they weren't just built. You could tell from the outside of the houses, they've been there a long time. I'm like, how come I'm just seeing this now? All the times I drove past it. But, my mind was always on something. My mind was always on something. And, it's good because when you empty your mind, then you actually open it up for endless possibilities. See, when we are thinking about the past, we're thinking about something specific. When we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about something specific, right? And there's nothing wrong. Let me be clear. When stuff happens in the past, there's nothing wrong with thinking about it because if you look at it good, you can see what mistakes you made, or you can see what you did right and then repeat it. So there's nothing wrong with that. And when you're thinking about the future, you actually creating a path for your life and everything. You're actually creating a path because when you think about something on a subconscious level, you try to follow through with it. People really actually create their futures. They create their paths. That's why it's very careful when people say, well, I ain't going to be rich, or I'm not going to find a woman. They actually creating their future. They actually creating it. Right. And then I've talked about that before. Of course, I'll probably talk about that again, just creating your future. Right. But every now and then, just be in the moment. Maybe, and I'm going to tell you what, it's hard to do that while you're driving because you got to pay attention. You got to say, oh, red light. Oh, okay, car coming and all of that. But if you like every now and then go to a park. Here's a secret. Go to a park, find a bench and just sit there. Just sit there. Just sit there and breathe. And this ain't meditation now. This ain't meditation where you're sitting there breathing a certain way. You just sitting there. But empty your mind. Empty your mind. Don't think about what just happened. Don't think about what could happen. Pay attention. You will see so many little things. I remember when I was working in a couple decades ago when I was working in downtown D.C. Had all the hard work at the, government office and everything. And, I would have to, walk to the bus stop, and there was a park right there. And I would get there early. Well, I wasn't in a big hurry to get home. But I would just sit there. I would just sit there sometimes. Sit there, and I would see so much. I would see people interacting and taking in the moment, seeing what I'm seeing. In fact, that's what I share with you because I just pay attention, and I don't have any bias. I'm in the moment. The squirrels scurrying about, how they're doing, some ants in the area, the wind blowing, just all the noises. But I'm not thinking anything. I'm not thinking about, okay, what I did or what I had to do. I'm sitting there right in the moment. And what you'll find as you practice that more and more, at key moments, you can empty your mind. Now, somebody would say, oh, okay, that's cool. You might be resting. Yeah, you could say that. But also, when you empty your mind, you're also open for new ideas. See, when you're thinking about the past, it's already happened. When you're thinking those thoughts, it's already happened to you, specifically to you. So you're thinking about that. But it's already happened. You can't change anything. You can just learn from it. And then when you're thinking about the future, you on a conscious, well, it's more subconscious level creating that future. You creating that path. This is what you want. This is either what you want, you think about what you want, or you worried about what could happen. But your whole being is focused on it. You focused on a path. Your mind is creating it. But when you open your mind, when you sit there and just open your mind, when you sit there and open your mind, so many possibilities can come to you. You open yourself up to a universe. And then you could even get to a point where you could even solve some problems because maybe a path. Because usually if we're trying to solve a problem, any problem we come to in life, we subconsciously will base the solution on what we've gone through before. Okay, you'll say, well, I've gone through this before. What did I do? And there's nothing wrong with that, but, you stuck in what you've seen before. And then, of course, you're thinking about the future, what could happen. What could happen. But when you're in that moment, a new possibility can come to you. And some people do it, they might call it inspiration, hunches, and stuff. In fact, that's how it happens a lot, if you can just sit there and just let it come to you. And I'm going to tell you on another level, subconsciously, you might already have the answer to that question, the solution. But because you're focused on what's happened in the past and you're thinking about what could happen in the future, you constantly think it, that thought might not come through. But if you stay in the moment, just sit there, calm, dude, the answer could come. The answer could come right to you. It could hit you or you could see something and you're open to receive it. And, it's a practice. Like I said, it's just some practice all the time. And like I said, look, it's just our nature to think about what has happened and what could happen. But, take a minute out. Start with a few seconds. Well, start with a few seconds. Just try to focus on a moment. Be in the moment. Empty your mind at the moment. And it's a practice. It ain't easy. I'll be the first to tell you it ain't easy, but work on it. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace and many blessings.